I'm pleased to announce a major step forward on a pathway towards economic recovery for the state of California. Since my election as Speaker, I've consistently said that the absolute first priority of every level of government must be putting Californians back to work. Job creation is central to solving our present crisis. Our economy will not recover until the 2.3 million Californians who've lost their jobs find new work. And our budget situation will not be stabilized until the job market recovers and the unemployment rate falls. Last week, we received welcome news that California added 14,000 jobs to our economy. This was positive news for Californians, but we know that our economy is still fragile. This news underscores the need for California to produce a budget that promotes job creation and makes economic sense. I've been clear on this point. We cannot make decisions that solve the immediate problem of our deficit but hurt our long-term growth. That means that the budget we produce needs to meet three tests. First, it must reflect the values and priorities of Californians. Second, the decisions we make must make economic sense and not hurt our long-term growth. And third, it must reflect an absolute commitment to protecting and creating quality, high-paying jobs in the private sector, in schools, local government, public safety agencies, that will create a situation that's central to a strong economic recovery. Today, I'm pleased to introduce a budget plan that meets all three of these tests, the California jobs budget. This is a creative approach to solving our two most urgent and pressing challenges together, creating jobs and closing our deficit. The central component of this plan is to create the California Jobs Fund, a dedicated fund within state government to promote the creation of the kind of private sector jobs that will put California firmly on the pathway to renewed prosperity and economic growth. Many of the proposals that have been put forward to close the budget deficit will harm our economy through drastic cuts that will result in thousands of jobs lost throughout California. And I'm deeply troubled by any proposal that will result in police, firefighters, and teachers being laid off. Local communities shouldn't be harmed by the governor's proposals to cut police, firefighters, and teachers. This plan protects those local jobs. It protects the social safety net programs that are vital to getting people out of poverty and into the middle class. It protects K through 12 and higher education because the 21st century economy requires a well-educated workforce, and it repays local government for years of Sacramento's borrowing. We finance this proposal through three primary methods. First, we will transfer and securitize $10 billion from the CRV fund to provide initial funding that repays schools and local governments for Sacramento's unfunded mandates. Second, we delay the implementation of corporate tax loopholes that were created in previous budget impasses. And third, we will implement the same oil severance tax that every other oil-producing state, including Texas and Alaska, impose on oil companies. Let me be clear about this point. We are not imposing any broad-based tax increases. We're instead bringing California in line with the national standard for oil companies and repealing corporate tax loopholes that were written in the secret backroom deals in the dead of night last year. I firmly believe that this package that every member of the legislature can proudly support, and I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues in strengthening this plan for California. Over the past 2 months, we've held budget hearings across the state because we believe our budget must be written in public and with full input from the people of California. More than 1,900 Californians have participated in these hearings, and they've been clear. They want Sacramento to come together and produce a budget that fights for jobs and protects public safety and education, and that doesn't punish the most vulnerable Californians and doesn't impose broad-based taxes. This plan reflects those priorities. This plan gets us through a difficult year and will help California on a pathway to economic recovery through robust job creation. The California jobs budget is a unique and creative approach to solving our two most urgent priorities. While it won't solve the long-term problems, it will get us through a difficult year and set us on the pathway to economic recovery. I've said consistently that everything has to be done and everything has to be on the table when closing this deficit, and I'm not holding myself to any lesser standard. The governor has released his proposal, and clearly I disagree with many of his recommendations. But I said I would not prejudge his proposal before it had a chance to work its way through the process, and I'm holding myself to that same standard as well. I'm looking forward to presenting this bill before the Budget Committee as soon as possible, and I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues to strengthen this package. I believe the package reflects the values and priorities of Californians. It promotes job creation, our most urgent priority, and it gets us through a very difficult budget year. This is a package that every member can and should support.